recommended that we seek legal advice. And it's a recommendation. We can take it or not take it. It's a recommendation. It's not compulsory. But as of the end of May, she is still recommending that we seek legal advice. And she'd been aware of this document, I mean, you know, she's trying to do a job. Withholding information isn't really conducive to the process. And, you know, without showing her the document, just a general address, and, oh, by the way, this, you know, in generic terms, I mean, yeah, it might be confidential. I held a top secret clearance for about 18 years. I kind of know about classifications, and you can sanitize. Once you sanitize it with your black ink or whatever, you declassify it, you make it unclassified. You take out the parts that to honor that confidentiality. But in my opinion, she was set up for a fall to stand up for YouTube and the registered guard and the media and everything else to make these recommendations without knowing that action had already been taken. I mean, that's just, we asked her to come look into things and give us some answers. And as far as I can tell, she's worked pretty hard to do that. And this is the reward.
Couldn't she have been told that actions had already been taken on recommendations?
Yes, if she would have asked, she didn't ask.
I mean, the secret millionaire
I mean,
thing.
she undoubtedly has thought about these suggestions more than just today. Okay?
I gotta be the first to admit, there's a lot of things that I have agreed with her in this time that she's been hired, but she's done a wonderful job. I'm just taken aback by it. I'm totally blown away.
This whole secret millionaire stuff. I mean, let's see. How can I get people's attention in a depressed economy? Oh, I know. I'll tell them free money, City Hall, and you got 3,500 people or 3,000 people rushing down to City Hall, and the poor overworked staff, because they're short-handed and working, they can't get basic customer service done because they've got anybody and everybody rushing down here after that free money. It's like running into a theater and fire. You can't do that.
Okay, well, I have a solution to that problem, but let's get back to we don't have written authorization.
I'd like to see that in writing.
So, Bob, what can you tell us about that as far as dispersing the money?
Well, I can tell you that today, upon request, Tim Demers, who has had an ongoing communication with the agency that is in charge of releasing the money, got an email that the last 3 words were something like, spend that money. So you have from the production people, who are the ones who have been charged with communicating with us,
But
email.
they're not the gifters.
Email, well, let me finish, please. Email communications to us. The problem is, and this is the problem throughout, in that email is the name of the donor. And if we release that name, we're done.
Exactly.
So, and then earlier in the day, I received an email from Counselor Barclay asking we gotta have some written information. I very shortly thereafter sent a communication to Ross Williamson, who is the person who's on behalf of Spear Point in charge of this. He sends the information. He says, well, here it is, but I don't know what you're going to do with it, because if you release it to the council, it's public information. Winston can get a hold of it, and it's got the same stuff in there that we're not allowed to release. So it's an exceedingly difficult situation at the moment. It can probably be cured over time with written communications coming and so forth that are carefully crafted. But in terms of trying to respond to the request quickly, it's exceedingly difficult.
Well, and to that, my recommendation, and I sent the email because, you know, when people ask me about this secret millionaire money, all I've got is the same rumors as everybody else. I have not the first document of how much was awarded, when it was awarded, what on and so forth, and I think we need clarification when they say spend the money, whether that is specific to the fire department piece of the pie or all of it. And the resolution to me, and normally I'm kind of opposed to somebody giving me an official document and then retracting it, because there are 7 people that hold positions of public trust here. And until we betray it, it should be assumed that we're gonna keep it. But something like that, if that's the issue, that, in my opinion, would be a privileged communication in an executive session that keeps it out of the public realm, but assures these 7 people that if that distribution goes south, that are gonna be liable for that, assures us, gives us the assurance that the authorization to disperse that money has been received. That would seem an easy
There is
answer.
no executive session reason for,
Privileged communications not fit for public consumption.
by an attorney.
Well, that's
Okay,
good.
so how
That's
hard
good.
is it?
We'll
Okay.
send it to us.
How hard is it?
We'll bring it anyways.
How hard is it going to be just to get a letter from the gifters, the people that actually gave the money to the citizens of Oakridge?
I do not know.
I mean, that's, I think legally, that's all we need, right?
Well, I don't think we need that, because we already have the money. And
Well, yeah.
we know their intent for the money that we receive. Now, to be quite honest, I don't know all of the money that they gave away in this town. I know what they gave to the city, but I don't know what they gave to, because I knew of
Well,
only one private person who received money, and I heard from somebody the other day that there were 3. Well, I don't know
There
who
was
the other 2
many, I
are.
think from what I can understand is they did a lot of shows, and Oakridge was one of the towns that received the most.
Well, and quite frankly, if we start distributing money the 1st of July, the money's gonna be distributed by the end of July. So what, we're gonna keep a secret for the month of July, or we're gonna, you know?
That's why I was
The only thing
wondering-
we have to keep confidential are the names of the donors and the amounts.
Take a black highlighter and take their name out. That declassify, that's how you declassify something. You omit
Is that what-
everything that makes it classified, and once you've done that, it becomes unclassified. Take the name out, take the social out, whatever, it's a black highlighter. Omit the names to where they cannot be read.
I think that's, I don't know Councilor Barclay, but I think in local government, that's this, I think it's similar to deleting an email. We can't do that.
So, but all we need to worry about is the money the city received. We don't need to worry about other.
No.
But we don't have even in writing that they said that we can even disperse the money. We have an email that says, spend that money.
From the,
Okay, from the producer, not from the people that gifted the money. That's
Yes,
my
but-
concern.
but
The
they,
producers don't have anything to say about it as far as I'm concerned.
when the,
They didn't give the money.
when the money was gifted, they
Right.
told us what they wanted it spent on.
Right,
And we have
right.
honored that,
Right,
okay?
I understand that.
So
Um,
that is, there's no
But I think
unclearness.
when it was, papers were signed, I wasn't there. I can't say this is all secondhand information on my part because I was working, so I wasn't there. But
I'll keep it a secret or else, it's kinda like, hanging it over your head, it's just like.
I can hold a secret.
and we think,
I don't think it's asking too much to let them know that it's
And I
costing
think-
us a lot of money to administer their program that we didn't have anything to do with it.
and but their idea was a really
Sure it
nice
was.
idea to give the citizens of Oakridge money. It's just that their good deed is now turning into, yeah, and I unfortunately was caught in the middle of it today and made my apologies to people that I may have insulted or, but yeah, it's, and we don't have the manpower up here to do it, so,
And the focus on it is taking services from everybody else.
right. Yeah,
Okay,
they
well,
think that they're
let
being
me,
passed.
let me present this information to you. If we do write a letter to the donors, what are we gonna be asking them? We know their intent and we have the money. What do
I
we-
just want them to have in writing permission to disperse the money
You're
at this time instead of when the show airs. I mean, that's what the intent is, to have it dispersed in July, well, the show doesn't even air until September.
Well, I
So who do you want, I guess the question, who do you want this letter from?
From the donor, from the actual gifter.
From the donor.
From the
And so
people
you
that
want-
actually
you want a letter that states that, but you can't reveal the name or anything about them, how's that letter gonna look to you? A piece of paper that says you can dispense some money?
I guess I'm just gonna feel better that it's not gonna be
No, you
taken
didn't
back
answer my
from
question.
the citizens.
You didn't answer my question.
Mr. Mayor, I'm
Okay, I'm
Does
sorry.
it come from them on their letterhead? If so, then they're giving the information that they don't want given.
Well, there
Now,
were.
after the 16th.
Then why would they want us to even publicize that the money was even gifted before they want their name advertised? I mean, look at the
I
hell
have
it's
the
cost
an-
the
I
city
have the
already,
answer for you.
okay?
Wait.
It doesn't make sense to me.
The answer is this.
Nathan, we don't need it.
If you've seen the show, you see the closing of the show spends about 2 minutes telling how the money that was gifted to people has been used.
Right.
They want to be able to say something about that. So that's why they're,
Okay, so in
Why
our
this
2
money
minutes, and
spent.
we're gonna say how it was spent, it's gonna be,
I don't think that solves our problem at all.
well, okay, I haven't gotten to the solving of the front
What's
office
your
thing.
solution there?
My solution is that we step up and do some of that ourselves.
I have no
And
problem.
I'm willing to work Wednesday,
But-
Thursday, and Friday all day to take care of that so that the staff people
Now, we're
can
not dispersing money, we're just
collecting
We're just
information.
verifying that the citizens that come to us lived here at that time and that are entitled to
Yes.
that
If
$100.
they're,
Okay,
if they're
so,
missing some documentation, we tell them what it is that they're missing.
Okay.
And see,
I can be here tomorrow and Wednesday,
our
3 o'clock.
Our job as the city is to verify the
Right.
information. The citizen's job is to provide the information. Now, I do agree with you that it would have been easier had they just had a list of water things. And I already suggested that today, and I'll suggest it again tomorrow, because that way you're not just duplicating off water bill after water bill after water bill, you're just checking
Right.
somebody's name off. Now, there are some people who don't get water bills, and we deal with those
Then
in
they can-
another way. They can,
Right.
there are other forms of proof that they can
Right.
bring, okay? So